Working hard is a lie, it is a scam. Stop being used and abused because it is an outdated way of working. Everyone, welcome back to my channel. This one's going to be a juicy one. But this part 3 video was requested by you, and I'm going to dive deeper into why working hard in the 9 to 5 is the most stupid thing that you could be doing in today's day and age. So if you haven't watched part 1, which will pop up here, check it out. It got the juices flowing. I then did a part 2, which will pop up here. Check that one out for the full context of where we are today at part 3. Now let's kick this off. Some people really do understand my message and my mission, and there'll be a couple of comments that will pop up right now of people who have watched the previous videos and they are now working smarter and it's serving them better than grafting hard, because that is an old way, it's outdated, and let's face it, we are not living in the industrial age anymore. So come on people, wake up. Now, who is this video for and who is it not for? Well, if you do believe in your hearts of heart that working hard and digging holes and laying bricks and serving your employer will get you a promotion and you'll be able to retire one day, this video is not for you. My mission is to help people wake up and work towards living a life by design, because that's the world that we're in, where we can quite literally create the ultimate life that we want to live for us and our families. Serving someone else for 45 years is going to get you nowhere. You'll be lucky if you get an 80 grand pension. So listen up. So yeah, to clarify, if you are a believer in serving someone else and building someone else's dreams, don't bother triggering yourself and revealing all your insecurities in the comments. This is for people who want to live life to the fullest and stop giving away their most precious asset, which is time. Now, let me jump back to my 9 to 5. Why didn't I work physically hard? Because for me, personally, I always wanted to escape my job. You know, I had my son at 20, as many of you know, and I just got clarity. I just got true perspective that I really want to live life. I want to see him grow up. I want to make memories with my family. I want to travel. I want to explore. I want to really live. I don't want to work for the rest of my life. I understand we have to work in the beginning. We have to make money. We have to pay bills. I totally get it. We all start somewhere, and once upon a time I did work hard, you know, I did put in the hours, but you learn from mistakes and failure and being burnt, right? That's the only way you learn. You're naive until something bad happens, and then you have the wake up moment. You know, I've been trod over and thrown under the bus by co-workers. I have in the past taken on projects when I was young and naive to realise that no one cares. I've been there, I've gone in early and I have stayed late, but I do realise no one gave a monkeys. Okay, so there's 2 book recommendations I'd like to suggest to you to understand that the new world, the digital world, the autonomy, the AI takeover, the tech advancement that we're in, to make your life simpler, to systemize things and make your life so much easier where you're not physically having to graft. I want you to go away and read Deep Focus Work, or I think it's called Deep Focus, that will pop up, and the 4-Hour Work Week. Those are 2 books which will really open up your eyes to understanding that you don't need to be doing an 8, 10, 12-hour shift. And this is probably a good point to suggest, if you haven't watched my other video, which is Stop Working 40 Hours, that will pop up here. That will give full context around how the 8-hour working day was created, and actually John D. Rockefeller wanted a world of workers, not thinkers. Go check out that video and it'll give much more context to how this really is a rigged system, right? So we need to start working smarter. So in my last job, I was walking slow. I never put my hand up for projects. I would do things very calculated to cover me where no one would really come and bother me. So what I mean by that is I would prep emails, I would say things at the right time. You know, I would just sort of show my face as and when I needed to. I hated playing the employment, the corporate game, but I did it very well without any stress. So I must emphasize that. I could play my role very well without getting emotionally involved or too caught up in the political poker game of the corporate world, I found it very easy to say the right thing and do the right thing at the right time. So I was left alone, and I made it very clear I was not willing to do overtime. I wasn't going for promotions. I was too hyper aware, and I saw it firsthand that the people that would take on step up roles, the promotions, the extra projects, no one cared. They were not rewarded fairly, but they were used and abused. So let's state some very real quotes. The horse that is willing to carry the heaviest load will always get the heaviest load. A good deed never goes unpunished. I believe it's that. If you want something done, ask a busy person, and good work results in more work. And it's totally true. And I saw it all the time. I spoke about it in my previous video, part 1. I had a Steve and Anna in my last job, coming in early, staying late. No one cared, but they were stuck. They created a rod for their own back, and that was an expectation, which leads me on to talking about promotions. Let's dive into this. Stop accepting promotions if you want to be paid more. And then this, let me just explain. Getting an internal pay rise is going to be minimal. Your best bet, if you are going to stay in a corporate company or you're going to climb the career ladder, you're better off job hopping. Stop going for internal promotions, because they can only give you a minimal allowance, really, a certain percentage of maybe 1 to 5% on your salary. It's not going to be a huge amount. For the years of graft, for the years of slavery that you're going to be putting in, it's not worth it. You're better off learning all the skills, advancing and moving into another company on a higher pay bracket. That's the best thing. So don't accept internal promotions, because the puppet strings become shorter. You're required to do more. You're used and abused more with no real results or reward to show for it. Now, step up roles, or dry promotion as they call it. My God, stay away. Don't you dare ever accept a step up role. What does a step up role mean? Take on a task or X amount of tasks. We won't pay you. You'll have to do X amount and have more responsibility. You'll need to show more loyalty to the company. You'll have to put your family on the back burner, and you're gonna have to do this new task, new job role for the next 12 to 18 months. And there's no guarantee you're going to get any extra pay. That's the truth of it. That's what a step-up role is. Madness. In my last job, people would bite at the bit for a step-up role. But what happened? They learnt the hard way. When it came to the end of the step-up role, which was typically over a busy period like Christmas or a Black Friday or whatever it might be, they would get to the end of it, no promotion in sight, gaslit all the way, dog's body, and they were burnt out, stressed out, and now they hate the job and they want to quit because they're frustrated, because they were led up the garden path. The stuff I'm saying is obvious. To younger people it's not, because they're just entering into the corporate world, and again, my mission is to really help wake you up, help and push you towards a life by design. So there might be some younger people who watch my videos and they might think, I'm being told this at the moment, and you can maybe pivot. Now, ageism, this is a real thing, and if you are, say, above 40 and you're in a corporate job, because I get a lot of lovely comments from people who are slightly older, and they're like, oh my God, Aaron, I've only just learned this now, and I'm very blessed that you all watch my videos and I'm impacting your lives in a positive way, and I love that, and I love the comments that come through. But ageism is very real, and what happens is the older people in job roles, especially lifers who have been there for a long time, they become more deceitful and untrustworthy, because they know that their days are numbered. They only have a limited amount of time left, so they become more competitive, and they play the political poker game even more, which can cause you problems, which means you have to play an even smarter political poker game just to fight and survive for your job. So be careful of the older people, because they are willing to then do whatever it takes to keep their jobs. So if you are in a corporate company, or it doesn't have to be a corporate, any workplace, and there are some older people who are maybe 5, 6, 7 years away from retirement, I would actually advise keep your distance, because they know their days are numbered, and they probably don't have any new modern skill sets where they'd be able to go on to another job, and they're unlikely to get another job. So just be aware of that. Now, survival mentality and fighting to keep your job. There are many of these people out there who are financially dependent on a job because they've got the mortgage, they've got the finance car, they are society's consumer. They spend all their money, they live to their salary, wage slave as they call it. These are people you need to be very careful of, because these are the ones who get burnt out, stressed, depressed. They come in early, they stay late because they're willing to do anything for the manager and the senior leaders to keep their job. They will do anything. How high, boss? What do you need, boss? Yes, boss. 3 bags full, boss. I'll do it, boss. You know, again, Stephen and Anna. Be very careful not to become one of those individuals. This is the problem. People become financially trapped. Look after your money. Now, stop worrying about your job. Coming in early, staying late, doing the extra hours, being on call, you know, when you've left your job and you're picking up your phone and you're answering emails on your days off, it doesn't do anything. The people who climb the corporate ladder and the people that go the furthest are the ones that are just very smart in the way they operate. They laugh when they need to. They have fake enthusiasm when they need to. They have the alter ego. They pretend to be the character. To their downfall, I might add, because there's only so long you can keep that up until you hit a midlife crisis and have massive loss of identity. You really do need to start changing your mindset and realise we're not in the industrial age. It's not about how many bricks you lay. It's not about how many holes you dig. It's not about how many pallets you pick up on the forklift and load the lorry. If you turn around and go, oh boss, I've just loaded 7 lorries in the last hour. I don't care. Did the lorries get loaded? Yeah. But the person who's up for promotion is the one who's been getting the Domino's pizzas in the office whilst you've been slaving your bum off loading the lorries. The guy or girl who's been getting in the coffees from Costa, they're the one that's going to get the promotion. The one who's been going out on the works do, not you. The one who's been putting all the work behind closed doors thinking someone's going to watch you on the CCTV. No one's playing back the CCTV to see how much work you did. I promise you, it never happens. Again, in my last job, me and my mate Steve, another one, Big Bear, who I've mentioned before, we were just so calculated. Again, I refer to Sensorlight, and there's nothing bad, right? I've got a very, very hard work ethic for myself. I don't have a hard work ethic building someone else's dreams. I have no interest at all in building someone else's dreams. Never have done. I don't want to either. I've got no interest in building someone else's dreams. Why would I? I am aware, as so should you be, and the message within this video, we got everything we need to go on to build just such a fantastic personal brand, content creation, businesses, online, autonomy. Why would I want to put all my time and effort into building someone else's life? No, thank you. No, thank you. So look, a reminder, right? You're just a number. You are. No matter how long you serve a company, no matter how many hours you put in extra, which you weren't paid for, by the way, I've met many of those people and worked with them, unfortunately. No one cares. You'll be replaced in 72 hours. If you want a reality check, you know, you go to London Bridge and actually visualize corporate zombies. Go to London Bridge at 9 AM and watch the masses steamroll into central London, and then go back at 5 PM and watch the masses again steamroll out of central London, getting ready for the train. Then you will realise the system is rigged, and you can only escape the system when you get your money right. You live on less, you invest the rest, and you learn how to cash flow yourself. Life gets really good when you become financially independent. And it's not about how much money you make. It's really not. There's these blurred lines about it's the biggest company, it's about making the most money. It's not. I mean, my outgoings a month are max £2,000, max. But my earnings are significantly higher than that, because I've never increased my spending, because I'm not bothered about materialistic things. I haven't fallen into consumer spending, and most people cannot escape the 9 to 5 because they are leveraged too highly, financially trapped, should I say, by the typical things in which society wants you to buy. The bank wants you to take a mortgage. And when you become financially crippled and stressed out, you then are subject, or at least at risk of becoming the hard worker. Well, I promise you now, when you start going into entrepreneurship and you start evolving and adopting the modern day and age that we live in, the digital world, online businesses, content creation, programs, courses, e-learning, selling things online, putting systems in place. You can learn this at any point, by the way, if you're willing to sit and learn, or get a coach, or join a group, or listen to podcasts. You can learn all of this. It's never too late to change. Just the older you get, it just means that your runway's getting a little bit shorter. Honestly, I'm rooting for every single one of you. At the end of this video, which we're coming up to now, and I really hope this is giving you a bit of a kick up the bum, this is the final part 3 to stop working hard, because it is a lie and a scam, and it really is. Tutorial number 1 will pop up now. How to quit your job and build an online business. Watch this and you will come away knowing how to build an online business and what it takes. And then watch part 2, which is all for free, which is what online business models can replace your 9-to-5 job. And I dive into how you can replace a salary. It's not the hardest thing you will ever do in your life. It's more you changing your mindset, which is the hardest thing to do. That's gonna be the tricky part for you, not actually doing the business side of it. That is actually the easier part out of all of this. I promise you, you could escape your job if you are willing to do everything that it takes. And to all the people that doubt the possibility of escaping, I promise you, just to put that to bed, it is possible. Just think about it. You just need to replace the average salary of, say, £1,500 to £3,000 a month, and that is totally doable in this fantastic, full of opportunity world that we live in, with accessibility, low entry. It doesn't cost money to start a business in the day and age that we live in. It doesn't cost money to start a personal brand. It just needs you to start. Get perfect later. Well, scrap that. You don't get perfect, you get good later. Don't overthink. And final words from me about the 9-to-5. Stop worrying about your job. Stop overthinking. Stop giving them your time and effort and giving them blood, sweat and tears, because you will be dropped like that. You'll be made redundant. AI, I promise you, is going to take over so many freaking jobs, and your job could be at risk. Please wake up. That is my only mission through YouTube, is to help push you towards a life by design, because that is what we have at our fingertips. We can build our entire life around everything that we love and what our family loves. It's going to be really hard in the beginning, but it's worth it. I promise you, I'm 32, I'm living and breathing it. Look, until next time, this was Stop Working Hard Because It Is a Lie and a Scam part 3. Until next time, I'll see you all soon. Peace out.